Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to the latest episode of the Gym Bros podcast. We've got a full house today with myself, Bryn.
Hello.
We finally got Josh back.
Hello,
And
hello.
Got our man Tate on the. What is he on? I was going to say on the ones and twos.
On the
but
mic.
It's not on the ones and twos. He's got his cans on though.
You got the camera.
Big cans.
Camera.
Exactly.
Big cans.
So we're going to talk about something that's quite controversial, I feel, and it's whether we currently are living is the UK a broken society? And by broken society, we're kind of getting at things not working properly. Are we getting value for money? Are we being looked after as residents? What it's like compared to other countries, that kind of thing. So I've obviously got some quite strong opinions on this. So I don't know whether you want me to start and you guys chip in.
Yeah, you definitely start, mate. We'll start from the bottom and then we'll ask Josh and then we'll go with me after.
So I have a looking at what's going on in the world and this, that, and the other, and obviously been recently doing some traveling to other countries. And I think anyone like me that spent time outside of the UK in places like America, and like I've recently been to Dubai again, when you compare what's going on over there, the quality of life that they have, the opportunities, the services that they get, and then you come back to the UK and you look at what we've got, I think we're currently living in like a broken society. So by that, what I mean is, I gave you guys, we were chatting before, I gave you guys an example. So I'd come back from Dubai, I'd been back for a day, I was on my way to work, 8:30 in the morning, I'm coming up the A34, sat in traffic, A34 is down to one lane, both sides. This is at like 8:30 in the morning when everyone is either on their way to drop the kids off at school, to go to work, or actually on the way to work. And there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. There's just miles and miles of cones and nothing going on. And I'm thinking, why are they inconveniencing everyone? All these people are on their way to work or to drop the kids off and then go to work. They've all got to be somewhere. These are people that are earning money, that are paying taxes, that are paying into the system, and our government or local councils think it's acceptable to inconvenience everyone first thing in the morning. Why are they not doing this stuff at night? Why are they not doing it out of peak hours? Like maybe start that job at 10 o'clock when there's not as many people on the roads. And it, like I say, it came prevalent to me because I was out in Dubai and everything there is done at night because they don't want to inconvenience people that are working, that are earning money, that are paying into the system, that are spending their money. They don't want to inconvenience you. So they'd look at things logically and go, okay, so we need to do this work. What are the times that this part of the road is not busy? Oh, well, it's not busy at 11 o'clock at night. Right, that's when we're doing it. That seems very, very sensible to me. I was looking at, another thing I was looking at was obviously a big thing over here is like the amount of tax that we pay. We pay some of the highest rates of tax. We pay council tax, we pay income tax, we pay VAT, pay national insurance, you pay tax on your car insurance. Our car insurance is through the roof. Everything that we pay out is extortionate when you compare it to like other countries and what they get. I was saying to you guys, I had an issue with like my local council not maintaining certain like areas, not mowing grass properly and leaving things unattended. Bearing in mind, I live in like one of the Cheshire areas, so we pay higher council tax anyway because of where I live, but I don't get anything back from it. Like if they're not even doing the basics and maintaining like communal areas, grass verges, there's a path that's not far from my house that is overgrown, which you can't walk on. No one's been down and trimmed it. So that's not just me that it's inconvenient. It's everyone in that area. It's inconvenient. Everyone that wants to walk down that path has to walk on the grass. They can't even walk down a path, but no one's maintaining it. And I've obviously, again, I've been in Dubai and everything is maintained to the highest standards. At night, people come out and clean up and tidy and maintain stuff. Any of the apartments that you live in, any of the houses that you live in, any of the developments you live in, yes, you will pay a service charge, but everything is maintained, like meticulously maintained. Everything is immaculate all the time. we don't get that over here. There's even housing developments over here, because I lived in one myself for a while, where I paid a service charge every year, and I got nothing for it. They didn't even come and trim bushes, so I stopped paying it. And I was like, and then they send you a letter saying, "Oh, well, we're gonna take you to court if you don't pay." And I says, "Okay, well, I'll pay it when you tell me what I'm paying for and when you've done that work, because I haven't seen you do anything. So I'm not going to pay it until you provide me evidence. I'm not going to pay for something. You don't go to a shop and buy something and not see it, but pay for it anyway. Or you don't pay for something to be delivered and it doesn't turn up and you paid for it.
Yeah, you don't
You're only
walk
paying
in.
for services.
You don't walk in and
Yeah.
walk out and you say, that'll be £5, please.
Yeah,
What, for breathing air?
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that, yeah.
So these are the things I was thinking, and I was like, I'd like your guys' input, because like I can go on for hours about this stuff, because it annoys, like, and again, I'm sure anyone who spent at any time hours, just think of the check, just think of the money coming in, all that editing you get to do, listening to us. He's got no words, but it just seems like we're just in such a broken society at the moment, and no one wants to do anything about it. No one wants to stand up and take charge. None of the government want to do anything. Like police service, I was saying to you guys, police are more interested in catching someone driving on the mobile phone than doing anything about a serious crime. Like in London, for example, people are riding around on scooters, stealing luxury watches, stealing people's Moncler coats, stabbing kids for the trainers. Nothing's getting done about that. But they're more than happy to give you a fine because they've caught you on your mobile phone. Yes, you shouldn't be doing it, but come on, priorities. America is another one I was like looking at. So they have their police is seen as law enforcement. That's what they class themselves. You go and speak to a serving police officer. What do you do for a living? A law enforcement officer. Because that's what they do. They enforce the law. If you're driving around and one of the patrol cars sees that you've got lights out, they'll pull you over. When was the last time you saw a police officer in the UK pulling someone over because their car wasn't fit for the road? I see cars every day with lights out, and I'm sure you do. You're on the road more than I do. I'm sure you do. You see some cars like terrible states.
Yeah.
Why is no one doing anything about it? Because you're supposed to maintain it. It's the law to do it. You've got to have a roadworthy vehicle. Someone like yourself who's a professional driver, it's your responsibility as a professional driver to make sure your vehicle is immaculate and everything works. But how many taxis have you sat behind that don't have brake lights working? Smash brake lights. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think? Joshua?
Do you want to go? Because I'm going to reel.
He's going to go on. He's going to go on one.
No, I agree. I think that there's ever since COVID, and I think the government fucked us during COVID, and it's just like there's just been adding levels and levels and levels to the pressure that all the British people are feeling, like all the taxes and everything's going up, and like
Feels
in
like the testing. How much can we pile on them before they break?
This is
How much?
exactly
How
it.
much?
I
How
literally,
much?
I literally feel like everyone's just gonna go. They won't, but it's like, where is the breaking point for the people? Like the increase in your groceries, let's say, you don't normally see it. It does happen from like 2000 till now. Obviously, it does happen, but I feel like in the last 4 years, it's been very, very noticeable. Like your weekly shop, your monthly shop has gone up. Like you see things sometimes from one week to another that are a different price, and you're like, what the fuck? They're just getting more brazen.
On about the supermarket, did I say to you about the thing I noticed when I went shopping the other week?
No.
So I went shopping the other week, and there was like, I popped to Asda, for example. Let's say they got 14. So they used to have like 14 checkouts and a couple of self-service. Now it's predominantly self-service. So that supermarket has massively reduced their wage bill because they don't have people sat on a till anymore scanning shopping. You're doing it. So why is my shopping not going down? Because your overheads have gone down because you now haven't got 12 members of staff sat there for 16 hours a day scanning shopping. You haven't got that anymore.
They've got proper shopping trolley ones as well now.
Yeah.
Now I've just got like...
And they've got the scan and shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can pretty much do your shopping, and so they can now remove that element. So that means any business, any business, one of your biggest overheads is your wages. So all these supermarkets that have got scan and shop and self-service checkouts, they've massively reduced their wage bill. So why has that saving not been passed on?
It's not just that though. It's just anything like energy, for instance. We pay a extortionate amount, and obviously the cap recently went up, and I think it's gone up again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how can it go up? But then these energy companies are reporting like
Billions.
insane profits.
Yeah.
You're like, hang about. You're just basically doing that to us, going fuck you.
Yeah.
You're struggling to eat your home, whilst we're reveling all this money, and our CEO's getting a fucking £10 million bonus this year. It's like, and like with fuel as well. Fuel's silly.
Yep.
In the 40% of fuel, fucking the government tax.
Yeah.
So fuel could be way less than it actually is now. Way
much-
less.
Fuel in Dubai, petrol, it's about 34p a litre. Electricity in Dubai currently, I'm only using this because I've obviously been there, experienced it recently, 4p a kilowatt.
Was it like 15 or something?
No,
What was it? I don't know. Was it 20?
like 80.
80.
80 odd, 90 odd p a kilowatt.
There you go.
Fuel, don't even know what fuel is. I don't even
One-
know when I fill up. £1 something.
140 to 145 to 155 for diesel.
So I think like utility companies, your water, your gas, this, that, and the other, they should be non-profit making.
It should just you say even like car insurance though. Like so your road tax is mandatory as much as it's bullshit. It goes on emissions now, whatever.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. As much as it's mandatory, it's also like a specific amount. So it's X figure for X car for X banding. Your council tax is X figure for X band of house. Your car insurance is whatever the fuck that company wants to charge you on that specific day, relevant to when your fucking renewal comes. Like, is it Martin Lewis or whatever was saying that the best time is 3 weeks before your car insurance is due for a renewal, or 21 days before, to get like the better sort of price. Because if you go, my car insurance renews tomorrow, you'll get a hiked price.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the same car, it's the same details, but you're changing it because the wind's blowing in easterly direction now.
Yeah.
Like,
It's ridiculous.
You're just shafting me and smiling at me.
I've kept a car now, my X5, I've kept that for 3 years. And I've driven it less than the mileage that I say, and I've maintained it, and I haven't had an accident in it. And I've actually moved to a better area. I was already in a nice area, and I've moved to a better area. But my insurance has gone up every year. It's the same car, doing the same amount of miles, it's the same driver,
Stayed with the same insurance.
stayed with the same insurance.
Schoolboy area, that,
But
bro.
no, because I did shop around and it was coming in more expensive or not as good a cover. So that's why I stayed. I always shop around, I always look for it.
We'll talk after.
See, the thing is, like,
I'll square you
car
up.
insurance, typically, like, as in the wives' tale, which now isn't really that true anymore, was it's expensive when you're younger, and then you build up your no claims, and every year it goes down, goes down, goes down. It goes down when you're fucking 18, it goes down when you're 21, goes down when you're 25, blah, blah, blah. But, like, now, it fucking doesn't. Like, most people's renewal goes up.
So I
you're like,
spoke
what the
to
fuck?
someone within the insurance industry and said, like, why is insurance so high? And I was like, some of these youngsters, like, that are driving, their insurance is ridiculous.
Insurance is
Yeah.
now probably £4,000 to £4,500 for a 17-year-old for just
Yeah.
passing the test, minimum, depending on the vehicle, and they mandatory is a black box now. If you don't want a black box, 6,000-7,000. Genuinely.
So
Yeah.
I was asking, like, why is insurance going up every year? Like, as insurance companies making loads of profit and this and the other, and they're justifying it, saying, well, cars are more expensive, parts are more expensive, labour's more expensive. And I was like, labour's not more expensive. I know people in the industry who've not had a pay rise in years.
what I'm saying, yeah.
So labour's not more expensive.
Cars are.
Cars, is it relative?
But most cars get written off fairly quickly now.
Yeah, they do, because they don't want to. Yeah, they don't
They do
want
write a lot of cars off now.
Yeah.
It's insurance is a big scam, like you're
Yeah,
saying.
I think
It's a
it is,
massive,
yeah.
massive scam, and I know you need it, but I feel like that industry could be more regulated. It doesn't have to necessarily be a private thing. Like, it could, like, do you know when you compare quotes?
Yeah.
You ever just add a laugh and scroll to the bottom?
Yeah.
Like your first quote, let's say your first quote's £1,000. Your last quote might be £10,000.
Yeah.
And you're like, I feel like ringing that company going, how are you in business? Like, fucking.
But sometimes they'll do it because they don't want that car. So they give
Yeah.
you ridiculous.
Yeah.
So like one of the things, I was talking to a friend of mine who he was about to buy a new Range Rover. So he's looking at spending 225 grand on his Range Rover. And he's an older chap, businessman, full no claims, this, that, and the other, does 10,000 miles a year, lives in a nice area. And you know that he couldn't get his vehicle insured. No one wanted to touch it.
How old is he though?
He's in his 40s.
That would be the price of the car.
It was most insured. Well, no, it wasn't. It was because they're stolen.
Yeah, Range Rovers are stolen.
They're stolen. They're easy to steal.
Yeah.
Is he here or is he there? Is he in London?
No, he's up this way.
Oh, this way.
Cheshire.
Oh yeah.
But so he couldn't get it insured. So he ended up buying something else. And then I was like, that's ridiculous. So, and he was like, that's the car I really wanted. I've always wanted one. I've worked really hard. That's what I really want. And I can't have it because no one will insure me. Like, and it wasn't that it was unaffordable. He was saying insurance companies would
A lot of them don't.
be refusing it. So I looked into it and he was absolutely right. There's loads of insurance companies out there.
Most
that just
stolen car in
refuse it.
London, isn't it?
Yeah, and then now what's happened is, so I did a bit more digging, and Range Rover are now starting to offer their own insurance because other companies won't touch their cars. So it's
Should
affected
make
their
them so
sales.
fucking nickable.
Yeah.
Should have some more couch. Should have. A
Yeah, well,
fucking,
they were saying what we're doing is we're offering our own insurance, and now we're going to start working with insurance companies to
should have an
try and
EMP
prevent
shouldn't
this.
they, built into the car.
Yeah,
At night, so when you lock it, a fucking EMP just like pulsated and dusted.
but how? Do you know what I mean? How ridiculous is that?
It's stupid.
The companies are just going now. We don't want to. We don't want it. We're not going to because it's going to get stolen, basically.
It is, but it's like the biggest thing, not the biggest thing, but one of the things in insurance that fucks me off is if someone rear ends you, say it's your only ever crash, someone rear ends you, your insurance goes up. Even because it's a no fault claim.
Yeah.
Whether it's you
Yeah.
or them, it's a no fault claim.
It's for no fault of your own. You've had an accident, but it's still
But
going to cost you
it
money.
changes you. If you ever speak to insurance, have you ever spoken to insurance?
Yeah,
it
yeah.
changes your percentage of being hit or something
Yeah.
like it goes against you or whatever, and then they go on the average in the area and all these like stats and figures and whatever they make up. And you're like, yeah, but it's
I haven't
one
done
crash
anything.
in like 10 years or whatever, and someone hit me up the arse because they were on the phone, they were distracted, there was oil on the road or whatever. It's like a freak accident.
It's not your fault. You've done nothing apart from go about your daily business.
It should be like on the if it happens like 3 times, then maybe it's your driving. Then maybe like on the 3rd one, then you're like, okay, we need to put your insurance up now. But chances are, most people year to year don't ever claim on their insurance. Like the amount of money that you pay to insurance. I know you just had a claim. When was your last insurance claim? Last crash? Last actual you actually?
I've never claimed.
So you never claimed. I know you did because
I've had two.
you two.
Two claims in the last 2 years, and both of them, none of them were my fault.
I've never claimed because in my eyes,
One big claim.
I've never claimed because in my eyes, I pay. So when some copper's up my arse, he don't pull me over. That's genuine. I pay insurance. If I could get away with not paying it, I wouldn't pay
But
it.
it's what I mean, like how many
'Cause I
people
don't
on the
get
road
nothing for
have
it.
never ever had a, which is good. Though I'm not obviously people don't need to crash, but
Do you know
you don't
what?
get anything back for that. You don't get any like.
But do you know what? It's a like I've had two claims in the last 3 years, and both of them were not my fault. One of them I had to claim because someone had hit my car while it was parked and just drove off, and it caused like
damage.
cosmetic damage to the vehicle. And it was, but they drove off, and I was fuming at the time because it cost me money to get that fixed. And although it was, they say it doesn't affect your insurance.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I've got protected no claims. It does. And I was fuming at the time, but then there's part of me that's thinking I can understand why that person's done that because that's going to put their insurance up. And everyone's on such a breaking point financially at the moment that they will hit your car and go, "Oh my god, that's
Drive off.
yeah, oh fuck it, I'm going."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done. I can understand why people do it because it's detrimental. There's no incentive to be honest.
But this is why, like when you said your car insurance going up, I know you claimed this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
But
So
say
again,
like,
someone hit me
Yeah.
and then ran in the back of me.
so then fair enough. Even though you might not agree with it, you could say that the algorithm's changed for your person, or
Yeah.
whatever. But like on one of the years that you haven't claimed, like you've never claimed, and your car insurance comes to renewal, and
It still
goes
went up.
and you're like, I haven't claimed with you. I haven't cost you any money. You haven't had to pay out a single penny for me. Why are you penalising me? I'm getting older. I'm getting more no claims. My percentage should be getting lower because of whatever.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like hang about.
But it's just going up.
Do you know what I mean? It's just another way you're getting shafted by.
So I look at that and I think if you actually look really deep, and obviously you'll get this because it's more business minded, but
And I'm not business minded.
No,
Fuck you.
but what I'm saying is
Fucking
that,
gorilla.
what I'm saying, don't be jealous. What I'm saying is,
Way to lift him up
they're
there.
all umbrellas, aren't they? So if you look at every company, if you search deep enough, a lot of these insurance companies are actually fake companies of other big.
They are.
Yeah.
You like a Direct Line. Oh, we're not on any search engine. So no, because you own about 10 different insurance.
Yeah.
A lot of insurance companies as well actually don't insure the vehicle. They're just
Brokers,
a broker.
yeah.
So they'll be using companies like Allianz and stuff to actually do their cover.
Yeah.
So they've got to make money. That company's making money. They've got to make money, and every year their costs.
There's like those. Have you seen the third party ones as well? So if you have insurance and you hit someone and you don't want to claim, you can just ring. There's I don't know what they're called, but there's ones like around here. You can just ring them. They're like an independent insurers, I don't know what they're called. But instead of claiming for your insurance, you can just ring them and they'll handle everything for you, like an insurance company. But you're not actually claiming. They'll just handle everything, hand all your details over, and they'll just deal with it all. And there's loads of companies like that out there. But
Anything to make money, really.
yeah. But it's I don't know.
So what do you think, Bryn? Come on.
Right, so let's get away from the insurance.
Yeah, let's go back onto our broken society.
Yeah, see why the. So you break it down. I'll break it down as simple as I can to look at the youth, look at your middle bracket, and look at your older generation. I'm talking 60 plus. What future?
Fuck you.
What future have you got now as a 16-year-old looking to the future? What future have you got now? Well, should I go to uni and be in shitloads of debt? Let's face it. Should I go and work at my local shop? Sound, you're doing well in life. Shall I go and work at my local youth club and be a cleaner? You know what I mean? It's like, what prospects have these kids got to really, to be like we used to be, where it was, right, I can't wait to grow up, move out of my mum and dad's house, be independent, do this, do that. Where is that direction for the kids now compared to what it was 10 years ago? Where are your apprenticeships? Where are your local courses for kids to go and do? Where's all this money getting pumped into the council for all these courses and all these different directions for kids to go? And we're not talking your likes of, your middle class where pretty much your life's been mapped out for you, or don't care what he thinks he's doing, he's going to be a lawyer. Don't care what he thinks he's doing. He's from this family where we're all proud, so he's going to be a doctor. Doesn't matter what he wants to do, he's going to be a doctor. Or you're Callum, you're going to join the army. Why? Because you're going to be an officer and you're going to inherit £5 million. We're not talking about them people. We're talking about your low income families. Literally like, here's 50p, go get a loaf of bread. Don't care what it looks like. We need to feed everyone for today. Talking about them kids. How have them kids got an outlet now to make a future for themselves if there's nothing being given to them?
There's no incentive for them as well, because there's like, even if you have a young person that, like, I think we've touched on this before, comes out of school and he goes, I want to start my own business. There's no resources there to help him.
Nothing.
So he can't go to the bank and say, I'm 18-year-old Paul and I want to start my own business and I need 40 grand from you to start it. They won't. But he can go and say, well, I'm going to go to uni and I'll give him 50 grand. He'll get himself in 50 grand's worth of debt. And even then he's not guaranteed a job. But this person might want to go and start their own business, but he can't get any support. If he does go and do it, stand on his own 2 feet and maybe saves up or whatever, gets a part-time job somewhere, saves up some money so he can start his own business, then there's no incentive for him to be successful because the government is going to take tax off him. If he has a premises, they're going to hit him with business rates. There's so many barriers put in front of this person to make them not successful in running their own business, because our system is geared towards keeping them in the system, not to be entrepreneurial and to earn their own money and learn about the world, to keep them in this system, to keep them downtrodden. I was saying to you, I was reading a book at the moment, it's about how society is broke into three tiers. Your tier 1 is your elites, your tier 2 is your people that are there to protect the elites, and your tier 3 is everyone else. Go on, what were you going to say?
All I was going to say is, like, even if you got, the youth there, you got someone that was really successful and they started doing well for themselves, still, and there's another barrier after that, because they can't then afford to buy a house.
No.
So, you know, there's not a chance. I know people that are relatively successful, but they're on their own, they earn a good wage, they do well for themselves. They can't afford to stop renting because they can't afford to get a deposit to buy a house.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, houses are so expensive, and there's like,
Nothing to look forward to.
no. What do you? Everyone. Again, we've talked about this on another podcast. Everyone has their own, what I call levels of success. So what I deem as my level of success is going to be different than what you deem as a level of success, and what you deem and what you deem. And everyone has their own level, and there's no right or wrong. Your level of success is the fact that you work for yourself and you provide for your family and you have a nice house and stuff, and you might be comfortable. To you, that might be, you class yourself as successful, and amazing. That's what you've done. And everyone has their own level of success, what they want to achieve. Someone might want to buy a house before I'm 30, and they achieve that. That's amazing. That's your level of success. And there's no right or wrong in that. But the system is geared. So someone who comes from a working class family, who a joint household income for them might be less than 30 grand as a joint household income, and they will survive, but they will struggle. So their child might go, I want to go out on my own and I want to be successful. I want to do better than what my parents provided for me, but I want to be more successful than them. And that person will then go out and they might earn 40, 45 grand. They might have a window cleaning round or something, but they earn good money doing it. That person still, although their level of success, they've achieved it because they're earning 45 grand a year and they work for themselves and they've got their own business, that person still can't go and buy a house. Do you know what I mean? So the system is now really geared towards keeping people in. How much do you need? I put a thing on my socials the other day. So they asked the general public in the UK, what salary do they class as someone being rich? And I have my opinion on it. And like, I mean, regardless, because you know the figures, but if I was just to ask you that,
No,
what would you kind of say? Like,
Well, the
in your
figures are
opinion, if you looked at someone and think
Yeah.
that person's rich because he probably earns, what would you say would be like a salary that you would class as rich?
Well, not to be sort of avoid it, the actual question, but I would break it down more because I know the answer because I've had this discussion, but I would say if you were to say that figure to me in Stoke-on-Trent, fuck it, mate, you're balling.
Yeah.
If you were to say that in London, I'd say, fucking hell, mate, what are you, a taxi driver? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it wouldn't impress me because
Subjective.
now
Yeah.
I know
It's
what
subjective.
you earn to basically fucking go
Yeah.
to the toilet in London. It's embarrassing, you know? So I would say in Stoke-on-Trent, 5 years ago, if you were earning 50 grand a year, you're balling. If you were earning 50 grand now, which I'm pretty much close to,
Yeah.
I see it on a piece of paper, I'm like, I'm doing well. When I see it coming out of my bank account, how much everything's gone up, I
Yeah.
start to look at it and I go,
You're kind of just you're comfortable.
yeah, I wouldn't even say comfortable. I'd
Yeah.
say I've still got to use my brain. I've still got a budget.
Yeah. You still got to
But
work.
I get to spoil my kids a little bit more.
Yeah.
But not enough that I can just go, oh, do you know what, grand here, grand there, do what I want.
Yeah.
So I don't feel rich and I'm definitely not comfortable in life. I've still got that mentality where I've got to graft. Because the next month, if I haven't grafted this month,
Yeah.
I'll struggle. So I'm not I'm sort of just above the breadline. And only just recently,
Yeah.
it's not like I've lived, like, in the military for 12 years, fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? The wages is embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? It is, isn't it? Like, people say, oh, do you know what? You don't do a lot. But when you do a lot,
Yeah.
you're still getting the same fucking wage.
Yeah.
So it's like, for what you actually do, it's embarrassing. And this is a public service. This is public sector. This is government owned. You know what I mean? We fight for the king or queen or whatever.
Yeah.
Say what you want, but it's government owned. You know, and I look on my paycheck, who pays me? You know what I mean? It comes out of taxpayers' money. Our money, I pay tax as well. So, you know what I mean? So I would look at it and say, now, in Stoke-on-Trent, for you to be rich, 90 grand. And I'm looking at you and I'm like, you should be driving a Porsche, 90 grand a year. If you're living in somewhere like London, I'd expect you to be rich, $1 million a year, I would say.
You've got London wise, you've got to be, because like you're looking at one bedroom studios are
A
costing
room
a
this
mil
big
to
would
buy.
cost
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
about 200 grand
exactly.
a year.
Yeah,
Fucking
It's
more than that.
embarrassing.
yeah.
We've got three, not
Yeah, it's
350
embarrassing,
grand,
yeah.
yeah.
It's
Half a
embarrassing.
mil, some of them are.
Yeah, and
Mil?
that, and it's like they've got all these little clauses in where the actual properties, the actual land that the property's on, because apparently it's going to get picked up by some big giant and moved. But
You're
the
not,
actual
you're
plot
not
that it's on-
freehold.
Yeah, so the
Most,
actual
most
plot
houses are
that it's
everywhere
on-
like,
yeah,
like freehold, yeah.
Yeah.
So you own the property, but you don't actually, you never own
You mean leasehold, not
Is it
freehold.
leasehold and
yeah,
freehold?
freehold.
So
you
freehold
own
means you
everything.
own the land. Leasehold
I
means
own-
someone else
yeah,
owns
so
the land.
mine's
Yeah,
freehold.
yeah.
I own everything.
Yeah.
But leasehold, yeah. So
Yeah.
you own the land for 1,000 years, and then it goes back
Yeah.
to great grandkids thing, and you're like, all right, cool, okay. This guy's really planned ahead. But yeah, so like I say, that was youth.
Yeah.
Now we'll get on to sort of your middle sector. So in my eyes, sort of 30 to 55-ish. Sort of, you're looking at retiring now, aren't you? 55 onwards. You sort of maybe got 10 years left and putting in that last bit of graft and then put your feet up, you know what I mean, have a couple of beers. So I would say in that middle sector now, the country's broken. Why? Oh, I've just said. My wages have gone up substantially. For me, personally, they've gone up shitloads, and I'm looking at it and going, well, so I can pay the shopping a bit more. Or I can pay this a bit more. I can pay that a bit more.
Yeah, looking like
What benefit have I got?
looking retrospectively from the outside in.
Yeah.
Like I know what you're grafting now.
Yeah.
Like you don't work for me. You don't work
Yeah.
in a gym anymore. You're working different. You're earning good money.
Yeah,
And you're really grafting for it.
yeah,
But the reality of it is, what's really changed in your life?
Now HMRC's bending me over a table.
exactly. You're paying more tax.
Yeah.
You're paying more tax. You're not dry. You haven't changed your car.
No,
You haven't changed the house.
No.
You haven't changed your wardrobe.
no.
Fucking shit house.
So do you know what I mean? And you're absolutely right. Yes, you can treat the kids more. You can treat yourself more. You can treat your family more. You've got a bit more disposable income, but the overall big picture, your life hasn't really changed that much, even though you're earning substantially more now.
Yeah,
And the reason that is because it's all going in tax.
yeah,
It is all going in tax.
Yeah.
So you're working harder and you're earning more money, but really you're not any that much more better off.
no.
And then when I look at we were looking at incentives to go forward, you look at somewhere like Dubai and they're massively reinvesting into infrastructure. There's free trade zones where you can set up a company there and there's no tax, there's no business rates, you're encouraged to be entrepreneurial, to set up a business, to employ people, to bring people into the country
do you
to grow
also
a business.
So obviously Dubai's new, isn't it? Like it's new. Do you know what I mean? Like it's relatively 10, 15 years ago. It looked very fucking
Yeah,
different.
yeah. My sister's been there 13 years, and the place that it is now is
Yeah.
totally different than it was when she
So,
went
I
13
suppose-
years ago.
Like it's good that they're encouraging, but they're also in their infancy in a way. Whereas Britain is not in its fucking infancy, and as much they're like saturated, whereas Dubai isn't saturated.
Yeah.
Dubai is come here, come and open up a business because we need you. We need this. So they are. Whereas Britain's just yeah, fuck yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like it's good that Dubai are doing it, but also Dubai are very in their infancy in years of development. Whereas the UK is got to fucking build some more houses because we've got more people.
Yeah, but we have a country which I was saying this about before. So if you go to Dubai, you have to respect their laws. You can't go to Dubai with no money to live there. There's no welfare system. There's no support.
Yeah, there's no free ride.
There's no free ride in Dubai. Same in America. Use it. There's no free ride. Same with Australia. There's no free ride. You go there, you got to work. There's no handouts. There's no free houses. There's no free healthcare. If you want to go and live there, that's fine. We'll accept you, but you need to be contributing into our system. You need to get a job. You need to work. You need to set a business up, or you need to buy property in order to get a visa to stay here.
Yeah.
We don't have that. Anyone can come through. Anyone can come into the country. That's why our NHS, people come here because they want free NHS, free dental care, free house, free money. No other place
We didn't even get
you
free
can
dental
go
care.
and sit will go into a country. You can't go into Dubai and go, I'm here, give me a house, give me some money, give me a phone.
You wouldn't even fucking get there.
You'd
Would
be
you?
straight back on the plane. You'd be straight back on the plane. Same in America, same in other countries. You go to other countries, you can't do it. Go to Russia, try and get into Russia without money. Ain't happening. There's no welfare over there. You work, you pay into the system, or you're poor. If you try and go to Russia with no money and to try and start, you're straight back. You're straight back. They'll send you straight back. Whereas we don't. Well, we also incorporate. I was saying to you before about going to Dubai. Dubai become a lot more westernized, and they are more accepting to other cultures. So they will accept you, but you still follow their rules. So there's certain things that are illegal, and they remain illegal. And although they know it goes on, and because it's a multicultural place. So I'll give you an example, like not to be controversial, but homosexuality is illegal in Dubai. Now that doesn't mean that you are going to go to Dubai and you're never going to bump into a gay person, because they're there. But what they're saying is it's illegal in this country.
Yeah.
So it's okay if you are, but you don't broadcast it. You don't make it public knowledge. You don't have public displays of affection. But that also goes for married people. There's no PDAs. Public displays of affection is not the correct thing to do, because it's not their way. So you abide by your rules. We'll accept you for who you are and what you are, because you're going to contribute to our company, but you don't go against our laws and our rules. Whereas in this country, I'm born and bred in England, and I'm a minority. I'm not allowed to talk about my religion or my beliefs, but everyone else is, because we've become a minority now, because we're a multicultural country.
Because the country's so diverse.
Yeah, it is diverse, but it's the same in other countries. It's so diverse, but you still follow the laws of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas over here, it's like I say, it's now we're becoming a minority. We're afraid to say that's not right, that's not right, that's not right. It's very strange, and there's no encouragement. Whereas, like say, you go to places like Dubai, and they are. Is it because they're in an infancy, or is it because they're trying to build a city of the future? Like there's no crime in Dubai because you don't do it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they're in their infancy, but they're doing it right.
They are doing it.
That's what I'm saying, because it's like they've got the modern way of living. So it's like, instead of the country that's been built up, England's been, I don't know when it was fucking founded, long time ago.
But we were like that. But
We haven't been for a very, very long time.
No, we've become a victim of toxic wokeness.
Yeah.
That's what we've become. So we've become so soft
There's
that
too many rights.
the country is now
Too many
afraid.
rights, yeah.
Like, there is laws, but they just
People
but
don't.
even look at like the prisons. The prisons are all overrun.
I think
and people
I think
aren't going to prison anymore.
Yeah, the problem you've got with this country now is it's the blind eye culture. I walk past something, and as long as it doesn't affect me,
Yeah.
it's fine.
People just can't be arsed anymore.
think-
People like bots, aren't they? Some people are just
Yes.
like bots
It's like
walking
that
around.
saying, you can pick a side, left, right, centre, whatever you want to do, but if you don't jump on this, and then that gets squashed, and then you don't jump on that, and then that gets squashed, and then in the end, you don't jump on that one, and then everything's squashed. So who's then going to be there to fight for your rights at the end? Because that didn't affect you, that didn't affect you, that didn't affect you, but now this affects everyone. But you didn't jump on that one to help out. So because you didn't, nobody else did. And that it's the same as, well, I don't vote, why not? Well, because it won't change anything. Well, if everyone has that mentality, then nothing will happen.
But it still doesn't really though. Like vote. I mean, I don't vote, and I can't really fucking say anything. I don't take enough of an interest.
Yeah.
I don't really like a lot of politicians. I feel like a lot of them have a lot of promises, whether they're good or bad promises, and then it's almost as if they get into the power, and then the actual person goes, right, dickhead, this is what's fucking happening.
Yeah, the
and you're
puppets.
like, well, what are we supposed to do?
Well, when
There's
I was
no
on,
accountability.
so when I was on about, sorry, I didn't mean to. When I was on about like writing about reading this book about the tiers. So the tier one are the elites, but the president and the prime minister, they're not tier one. They're tier two, because they're there to protect tier one. The people who are actually
Tier one,
in
you don't
power,
even fucking
you don't
know
even
them.
know who they are.
I don't even know them.
So they're all following. Even the tier ones are the people that control the country. They're the CEOs. They're the the people that are pulling the strings. The prime minister is a tier
The
two
front man.
person.
They're just
Yeah.
the front man. I mean, I know
Yeah.
it sounds like proper conspiracy and stuff, but they fucking are. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's not Ian making decisions. He sits aboard in a big room where there's actually very fucking
Yeah.
powerful people, big ministers, big CEOs, big businessmen, army people, big high up officials that are in there, and they're like, nah, that's not happening.
Yeah, this is what you're doing.
And it's just like it's become Britain's become a bit of a business as opposed to
For
like
them, not for
them,
us.
for them as
Yeah.
opposed to a money making machine for them to line their pockets and their
you
friends' pockets.
Did you see the thing the other day that was on the news about the 140 billion of PPE that's been
Oh.
thrown away?
Oh yeah, but
But they all got paid for it though.
They all got paid for
Yeah.
it.
It's
It's paid.
Hancock, was it Hancock that
yeah.
siphoned off to his mates and stuff
Yeah,
like
so
that?
it's all been sent out to his friends who,
Yeah.
you know, there was even one who was a jeweler. He was a jeweler, and then he created a company to import PPE. And these companies have been awarded. So there was a picture I saw, and it was 140 billion pounds worth of PPE that was sat being destroyed. It's going to be destroyed,
I can give it to the hospitals.
but they can't. It's not fit for use.
Oh.
There's no need for it anymore. It's not fit for use.
Yeah, they bought
but that's
it from
money that's
China.
been paid out. These
For the
people,
thing that really wasn't.
these
there.
people that have been in this inner circle have made millions.
COVID,
and nothing.
COVID was like. It was
a
like
little-
it was there. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not going to say the virus isn't real because it is.
Yeah.
But it was like the people that actually control the tier 1, tier 2s, whatever they are. They saw it happening and they
Yeah.
were like,
How can we cash
"How
in?
can we cash in?" Because they're fucking
Yeah.
clever people, and they're like, "We're going to do this, implement all these things," and it was like just a cash cow for two years, 2.5 years.
Yep.
And obviously, it's all come out that the government were having all these parties, whatever. Which
Yeah. They're even
probably
saying,
true. Do you-
even the health minister has come out and said,
He's
we
resigned, hasn't he?
winged it. We winged the
he said
rules.
Boris didn't even know half the
Yeah.
time what anything. The doctor, whatever it was. He said you had to explain things multiple times. He didn't have a fucking Scooby.
But they winged all the social distancing. This, that.
Yeah,
There was no
that-
science behind it. They winged it. They made it up. And they've come out and openly admitted
Even
it.
the
They've made it
masks.
up. Yeah.
Fuck off.
Protecting
But-
no one.
Tay, you've got. Go on.
He's gone to sleep.
You're going to speak it.
No, I agree with all.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's even now, right? So do you know, like China, as far as I'm aware, I know obviously they have like is it the smog or whatever they have over there because of the overpopulation.
Yeah, they wear masks
They wear
because of
masks.
the pollution. Yeah.
But they also wear masks because if they're ill, they will wear a mask because it kind of filters your
Yeah, yeah.
particles coming out or whatever.
Yeah.
So it kind of mitigates that or whatever. But like people here, when they're wearing masks or they're wearing old masks, or even like during COVID, when people had like dirty old masks that they just stuff in the pocket,
Yeah,
it's
it's not
like
doing anything.
It just doesn't do anything. Like
It's worse for your health.
yeah, you just
Yeah, breathing your carbon dioxide is what you do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, you're supposed to
horrendous.
exhale
Yeah.
carbon
Yeah, but
dioxide out of
you
your
can't
body.
blame people like that because they're all an older generation and they're stuck in the ways.
But it wasn't. The thing is, it wasn't the oldest. It was everybody.
Yeah, but it is now.
Everyone was.
yeah,
As now.
yeah.
Yeah, I understand that,
Yeah.
but they've been they've been
scared
absolutely
shitless.
scared shitless. You're gonna die. You're gonna get this virus. We're gonna be piling, and they're not savvy enough
Well, they were brought up to believe the news.
to believe the news. Yeah,
and trust your doctor.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
that's the end of story. You know.
Read the paper. Watch
read the paper.
news.
Watch the news. Watch the news at 10 every day.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is going on. I'm going to do it. They were petrified. My parents were scared.
A lot of people. I don't watch the news. I don't know. I don't.
And
watch the news.
I got to the, and I had arguments with my parents because I was very anti-COVID, and I was having arguments with them, and I stopped arguing with them because I was like, my view is my view, and your view is your view, and I'm never going to change you, and you're believing what you're seeing, and that's fine. I've got to accept it. I've got to accept their view. That's how they want to live their life right now, and they're going to comply with all these stupid, what I thought were stupid laws. And that's fine, but I didn't. I haven't had a vaccine. I haven't had a single booster. Yeah, I haven't had none of that. And now it's coming out that they cause blood clots and there's people dying left, right, and centre.
Is it AstraZeneca that have
Yep.
withdrawn it
We're drawing it.
because it's all confirmed now? And
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah,
It causes blood clots.
Causes blood
It's
clots.
just like how can you?
But then I saw
not fit for public use.
yeah.
Yeah,
But then I
not
saw a
fit for-
thing. But then I saw a thing on Stoke-on-Trent live the other day. Get your 8th booster.
What?
Get your 8th booster.
There was a
And a queue.
in a queue. There's a queue of people waiting for an 8 booth. Oh, and I was like,
They've all got to be 2-3 meters away from.
no, they're not. They're all
like
they're all lined up talking.
close
Not
to each
even,
other.
yeah.
It's all just
me in.
I know.
Show me your special about.
Show
telling me.
special, yeah.
I know we said it before, but it does come under the Broken Britain thing.
It
And
does,
everything.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like how if the government can do that and be proven to lie, and
Yeah.
like AstraZeneca and all this sort of stuff, and it's all proven, like it's fucking facts.
Yeah.
How then can you then trust them? Like I don't understand.
And
How
it's-
can you follow this but not follow this?
And like I say, it's all part of Broken Britain because everything, no one's willing to stand up right now and say, like I said to you about this thing with the council tax. I've had an argument with my local thingy because they're not
not
trimming,
cutting his fucking grass.
they're not trimming the grass.
They're not trimming his bush down
and they're
enough.
not. And they've had there's an area next to my drive which overgrew onto my drive, and I've then had to pay someone. I don't want to do gardening. I paid my gardener. He's come in to do a thing, and I've gone, do me a favour while you're here.
Yeah.
Trim that down, and then I've taken pictures of it, and I've sent it to him, and I've said, a percentage of my council tax I pay to you is for you to maintain these areas, and you're not doing it. So I've done it. And there's the before and here's the after. And if I have to do it again, I'm making you aware that I'd like you, as my service provider, I'm paying for a service, to maintain these areas. And if you now fail to maintain these areas, what I am going to do is I'll bring my contractor in and he will maintain them and I'll send you the bill.
It's like
And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And that's what I've told them to do. And they've replied to me. And they said, we'll take care of it. We'll make sure it's done, blah, blah, blah. Still hasn't been done yet. So now it's due to be done. It's starting to overgrow again. So I will bring my gardener in when it's overgrown and I'll take evidence and video evidence. It's all documented. And I'll get him to do it and then I'll send them the bill.
say with all the roads. I mean, I know we mentioned like about France and stuff like that, but I don't often travel that many other places. I used to, but they won't. I can't recall it. But I know, in my opinion, Stoke has some of the worst
roads in-
like
yeah.
the worst roads going. And if fucking anybody's got any other opinions, please fucking show them and show the potholes. But they're not even doing the potholes.
No.
And when they do relay the roads, they don't relay them properly how like it should be done. They just overlay, and then they don't really do it properly. It happens too fast, and then it cracks, and then it breaks up again, and then you get more holes or worse holes. And you're just like,
Do it properly.
What the fuck? And obviously, road tax doesn't go to that anymore. It goes, it's based on emissions of your vehicle and all the rest of it, because the ULEZ and they're trying to shaft you again.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, just fucking.
Yeah.
Roads is like, that could be another fucking podcast.
Yeah,
Just show loads
yeah.
of photos and just like get Brindle fit in some of the fucking holes, stood up.
Put some pot noodle in it and
I
sand
think
it.
I
and-
think to sort of tie it up, what
Yes.
I see when I look at Broken Britain is if you look closely enough at pretty much every single service, if
It's
you
a
look
poor.
at every single big tier business, it's all privatised.
Yeah.
And it's privatised, and the laws are made, and the policies are made in a way to benefit them and not us. If you don't pay council tax, see you in court. If you don't commit to what you've committed to, i.e., fix potholes.
yeah, why should we pay
Local
for it?
schools.
Yeah.
I don't want a roof falling in on my kids' heads. Cheers. Heating boilers, they should be fixed. Why are they breaking in winter and not being fixed straight away? It's not hard. British Gas, 40 quid a month.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go. Tip. You know what I mean? All these little things, and you look at, and it's like it's a get out of jail free card for them because they're a business. Well, no, you're a public service, mate. I don't care that you're a business. You're public service. Yeah. I found out the other day, and stop me if I'm wrong, but I've seen it. I've seen documentation. The police aren't even a public service anymore. They're private. They've got shareholders, mate.
Yeah.
They've got shareholders.
But there's
They're
rules
not.
about, like,
they're-
it's
no,
really
right.
fancy,
Listen.
don't they?
So
It's
a
what
lot of it I've seen now is obviously coming through YouTube and stuff like that, but it's all legality, and they're not there to serve the people anymore. They're there to serve the hierarchy because their bosses work for the private companies, banks, insurance
Yeah,
companies,
private equity companies. they
all
are.
these things, and people are just stood there going, "What you doing, mate? Why are you doing this? Why? Oh, we're just here to maintain order,
the
to
peace."
stop
What was
public
the-
order," and it's not.
What was the local council that's gone bankrupt or on the verge of bankrupt? Is it Cheshire? One of Cheshire. There's one of the local councils that's gone bankrupt.
I don't know because they're all going bump because
Is
of
it?
that fair pay thing. So they
They're
all
going
owe
bankrupt.
millions.
Got no money.
Yeah, but Birmingham councils like that. Stoke
Obviously,
councils
bumps into the wrong
I think
fucking
Stoke
just they've won a massive thing in court where people are basically not paid enough. It's fair pay or something like that. So they
Yeah.
owe millions in back pay. So everywhere's going to go bump.
They're all going to go bankrupt.
And that's why, like, Birmingham have been pulling back on services and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, happy days. So
Well, they're all trying to put the fucking ULEZ up then, innit?
Why am I still
Generate
paying
some
council
revenue.
tax?
Yeah, but how are like places like Stoke and Newcastle Council on the verge of going bankrupt, but they can go and spend millions on a car park which no one uses? How is that a good
Smithfield.
use?
Well, they got funded, didn't they? Like they got like 25 million or whatever it is grant for all those different buildings that should have gone up, but they never did them. All they did was
So where's that money gone?
they all got spent. It's gone.
On what? So that's our money. That's public money.
But nothing's
so,
been done about
So
it.
why is someone not gone? Okay, well, your
It's accountability, though. That's
Yeah,
just
so-
accountability, yeah.
Where's it
No
gone?
accountability.
Who's auditing these people?
But it doesn't. It's like there's probably someone like you in the council that's same views. Like, where the fuck's this money gone?
Yeah.
But you're just being shushed.
Yeah. Shh.
Yeah. It's
There's
like
10 grand, shut
because
up.
whoever is actually
Yeah.
spent it all.
So why
it's
is
like,
there
shut
not?
the fuck
So
up.
most
Yeah, but it's been getting divvied out. It's not getting spent
Yeah.
on anything
Oh,
to do with the council, is it? It's
yeah.
getting, passed to you, passed to you.
Here's an example like of something that should go on. So I run a business, you run a business. We pay taxes, and our taxes are audited. We have to have a professional person to do your accounts, and then so it's audited that way, and then it's sent to HMRC. HMRC can come out and audit you at any point. They can just rock up to your business and say, right, 7 years worth of how long you've been operating for? 7 years, right? I want to see all your books for the last 3 years. They can come and do that and audit you.
Yeah.
Why is no one doing that to the councils? Who's regulating? I'm gonna set up. Me and you are gonna set up. The 4 of us are gonna set up an independent
Adjudicate.
audit. Audit company for local authorities. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna give ourselves a title, and we're gonna go in and go, right, okay, so we represent the people, because it's public money, so we represent the public, and I want to now see your spends of the funding that you've had for the last 3 years. Let me see it. I want to know where it's gone.
Their audit is the
won't
government, though, innit? Their audit will be
No.
probably the government.
They're not.
Because they get grants
if
from the
they-
government, though, don't they?
Yeah, they get grants, but they're not audited. Because if they were audited, the government wouldn't allow them to go bankrupt.
Yeah, the problem
So,
is
there isn't
Yeah,
anyone
the
that's
laws there.
auditing.
Maybe
it.
that's it, is it? Maybe the person, who's in charge of the council? Who's
No
like the
one.
top person?
The councillors, the people that are voted
Oh,
in,
like a
we
board.
vote them in, and they're supposed to manage the money, but
Hmm.
no one's holding them accountable. No one's audited them. There's no one
Hmm.
that's auditing the councils. So this is why they're going and spending money. Like if you they're building a new car park in Newcastle, aren't they? And it's costing, is it 14 million?
A stupid amount, yeah.
14 million, right? I didn't give approval for that. Did you?
yeah, but not just that.
I don't think it's necessary, though.
Not just that though.
I don't
How
think it's
much
necessary.
of
There's a
that?
parking shortage in Newcastle.
Yeah,
No,
but not
there's
just
nothing
that.
in Newcastle.
Yeah, but not
Yeah,
just
but it's
that.
because it's council owned, so they want to build these car parks, so the council get all the money for them. They don't want private car parks. That's the difference. So all the private car parks that are out there, obviously the money goes to private companies.
Yeah.
and all the rest of
If
it.
you went and built
build the
land,
council car
Yeah.
park, then they get all the revenue from it.
But no
one's going into
one's
Newcastle.
probably going to use it. Just the same as the Smithfield NCP.
The Smith one. No one's never.
No one really uses
I've
it.
seen like 20 cars in it.
That's literally all for the. That was built for the councillors because they're in Smithfield, aren't they? They've got the council offices now.
Yeah,
in
right,
Smithfield.
yeah.
So that was purposely built so that they got free
What, about
parking.
30
Yeah.
cars.
So they got free parking.
Yeah, it is. That's why they did it.
They don't. They can scan in and scan out. You have a ticket to get in, don't
Oh.
you? So literally, all it's done is stop them pay parking. But we've paid for it.
No,
But that's
true.
what, well, this is what I'm saying. It's like, so they've as the council, they've decided that's what's best for Stoke-on-Trent to build this car park, and they tried to justify it by saying, "Oh well, we built the Travel Lodge, the new Premier Inn or whatever it is, and we built that little retail part there. That's all gone up now, so we can justify." That's how they've justified it to themselves.
It's just,
And then when they question, that's how we've done it. Oh, we need it. But hang on a minute. They should be justifying themselves. They should be asking
can you not go to the
permission.
council offices
What?
and have a meeting with them. Surely you can. They're for us.
But there's no one there to.
Yeah, but if you emailed them and said like we want a meeting with the councillors, and you ask them the question, not being a knob, not being arsey, not
But,
being rude.
but what they're saying is they will probably deny. They don't have to speak to you.
you don't.
This is what they're saying because
You only speak to
there's
you
no
when you get
justification. No one's holding them accountable.
voted. Yeah.
And that's what I think needs to happen. So each council should have an independently voted in board of auditors. Someone that's nothing to do with the council, nothing to do, not related. They're just picked by the general public. So you could put yourself forward saying, I'm Paul Yarwood, I'm a local business owner in Newcastle under Lyme, and I would like to know, for the benefit of the public, where Newcastle under Lyme is spending their money. And if you vote for me to be part of this team, I will make sure that we're auditing it and it's all fair and everything's accounted for. And then the people should vote them people in. And then that, I don't want any money for it. I just want to know where the money's going.
They should just have, like, do you know, like, for the council offices then, it should just be a voting thing. They should give everyone a choice. Not a choice, but like, just let people know that it's happening.
Well, did you see the
do you know
thing
what I mean?
on
I don't know.
Cheshire East? So the finance director or something, the Cheshire East Council, resigned from their role. So the council has to have someone in charge of, they have to have a finance director, which has to be voted in. And as an interim, they brought a lady in to be the finance director, and her wage is £1,500 a day, 5 days a week,
Fucking what?
to manage the council's finances,
How'd
to
you
oversee
apply
them.
for that job?
But this is what I'm saying. So but who's
Managing the finance is what's seeing all the fucking
and
money
it's-
going out.
Exactly.
Watching it being spent.
£1,500 a day.
Yeah.
I was reading about it.
Yeah.
And she's there for a minimum of 90 days.
The thing is, all these councillors that are corrupt and then that do all the backhanders or get the backhanders and do all that, all they have to do is resign. No one
Yeah,
ever
no
comes
one's
after
held-
them.
that's
Once,
what I
once
mean.
they've done that, see you later. I'm
Yeah.
done.
I'm gone.
I've resigned.
Yeah, you've
stress.
got-
Same with like,
stress.
you know, Boris was he got charged in or whatever,
Yeah,
fined
yeah.
or whatever it was. Do you know that 80 grand a year that they get once you've been PM for fucking one day? You get the 80 odd thousand pound a year.
It's 60 something days. It is. Because Liz Truss
I just got it.
just got
Oh,
it.
okay then.
Yeah.
But so after you've served so many days, then
Yeah.
you get the 80 odd grand a year for the rest of your fucking life because you've been PM. He should have had that stopped.
Yeah.
Not that it would have mattered necessarily. Because probably rich. I know he's rich anyway, but
It's definitely
should have
time.
penalised.
We do have a broken society and people that are in power that have been supposedly voted. I mean, we've got a prime minister we haven't even voted for.
fucking last two.
Yeah, we haven't even voted
Last
for.
two.
The people that are in power should have to justify because they're supposed to be appointed by us to run the country for the benefit of us, where they're not. They're running it for the benefit of them and their school and their college friends. That's what's benefited them. It's not the general public. It's not Brenda and her two kids down the road that's benefiting from the way their company. It isn't. It's their school friends. It's the boys' club.
Yeah.
That's who's being looked after. That's who's making all the money. So I think it's about time that the general public started saying, do you know what? I'm sick of this. We're getting trodden into the ground.
Yeah.
We're getting annihilated on the finances. We don't know where the money's being spent. Our country, our road network is terrible. You know, our health system is declining, is overrun. Our policing system is terrible. Our armed forces are massively underfunded. You know, everything. We need to, now is the time to change it. And the only way that we're going to do it is by people actually stand up and saying, right, I'm going to take a stand against this. I want to know. And we need to start first by local councils. These local councils are spending millions. They are getting given. Stoke-on-Trent Council have got 30 million unspent that they've been given to level up. 30 million is sat there unspent to level up Stoke. Now, I could spend 5 million and level up Stoke tomorrow. I go in and I know exactly what I would do. So why are they not spending it?
Because 5 million wouldn't be going to all your mates.
That's what I mean.
That's it. And that's not.
But why is it? There's loads of things you could spend it on. Why have they not spent it? Because they don't want to. They don't know what to do with it. They don't actually know how to level up because they're so
thing is,
taken
they
away
get
from
all this
reality.
money, right? And like exactly what you've just said. So they get 30 million, and they build something. If you were to take away the friendship benefit and all the rest of it and all that, what it actually costs plus profit to the company, it doesn't cost that much. They just hike the
Yeah, they do. They hike the prices up.
they hike the price because if you have if your train, different sort of thing, same sort of thing. If your train's cancelled and the rail company give you a taxi, that taxi journey is that they cost them loads of money.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually cost that much.
It costs them 50 quid in taxi,
But it'll be like
but they'll
500 quid.
send a bill in for 500 quid.
That's just and it's like
Yeah.
as soon as you realise you're
Yeah, exactly.
as soon as you realise you're a business, it's like right, 50% fucking bump the price up. But
So yeah, broken society
definitely is.
definitely is. Final words, Bryn?
The country's knackered because everything's privatised and people at the top are so out of touch with people at the bottom. There's 2 political parties currently at the moment and they're both shite. Fortunately, we've actually got one upcoming one that, granted, won't win, but it's about time someone like Farage, not that he's like, the next, go on lad, one of them ones, but at least there's somebody in Parliament that won't shut up when he's on the mic that'll actually keep hammering these guys. Yeah. So personally, I've got no views on him, but somebody needs to be in Parliament barking at these people and holding them accountable. And at the moment, whatever you think of the guy, at least he's the one that's going to be stood there calling these out. Do you know what I mean? So,
Josh,
yeah, whatever you want to vote for.
Don't forget to
vote for.
like, comment, and subscribe.
Peace.